All right. So I know you guys have all been wondering about where am I going to find my deals? We have inventory issues. Most of your major MSAs have got issues with prices going up, supply issues. But we always talk about this, that real estate is local. And so not every area is going to have the same thing going on.
Yeah.
I know I was talking to Jonathan about this yesterday. There's an area in Florida that Wendy and I just got a short-term rental in. And I was just kind of perusing Zillow. And I told Jonathan yesterday that there is a double wide, and it's not even new. It was probably built in the early 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So built or
installed
in the early 80s on a saltwater canal in Southwest Florida. They had it listed for $585,000, a double wide mobile home on a canal, which you probably could have gotten 2 years ago for maybe $199. It was probably what it would have gone for then.
I mean,
so it's amazing when you get into certain areas and you have lack of inventory, what it does to prices. So I'm gonna share our screen here a little real quick because I got a couple of things I want to show you. What we did, we're gonna kind of feature Rock Hill in just a moment. We're going to talk about the migration patterns and where your bedroom communities are coming into play. All right, so here's our map. The green is where people are moving to, and these are the top 10 states for either inbound or outbound migration. So the green is where they're moving to, the red are where they're moving from. And if you'll notice, we're smack dab in the middle of the green.
Seems like there's a lot of migration into the Southeast.
Obviously, the folks from now, it doesn't mean that Texas isn't getting plenty of people. We know that. We also know that Nevada is getting a lot of people from California, and so is Washington. It's just that they're not the top 10.
Yeah.
That said,
so you can see number 3 and number 5, Oregon and Arizona for inbound. I mean, that's probably correlated to the exodus of California.
Number 1 is Idaho.
And number 1 is,
it's probably all going to Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
We have some friends that live there, and it's crazy. I think Florida's crazy. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is nuts.
But look at number 2. Number 2 for inbound migration.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And we're gonna show you a bedroom community of Charlotte, which is Rock Hill, South Carolina. That is exactly where our office is located. It's interesting, and don't hate me if you're from North or South Dakota. If you're a Dakotian, I can only assume that North Dakota, somebody told them to move south for better weather, so they just moved one state.
I wonder if that, obviously there's incentives for moving to South Dakota, but I do see a lot of conservatives moving there just for the political aspect of it as well.
Well, both the Dakotas are in the energy sector as far as their jobs. And, either one of them is going to be cold in the winter, so I don't.
But I'd rather be in the south of the Dakotas than the north if it's going to be cold. Yeah.
So what we're going to show you here is a little walkabout. If you don't understand what a bedroom community is, it's going to be the communities that surround your MSAs, major MSAs. So Charlotte is like the 15th largest city in the United States.
Yep.
And prices are getting higher and higher there because as populations move in, where are you going to go? So you're going to start going out to the surrounding areas.
Yep.
The bedroom communities, first and foremost, that they're going to go to are the ones that have easy interstate access.
So anything off of 77 MSA. Or 85 if we're talking about Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have easy, quick commuting access to the major population center, a lot of people are going to move to the bedroom communities for a couple of reasons. One, we had a tendency in the last 10 years, people were moving into the urban areas. They like the walkability. They like being able to walk to the corner coffee shop or the bar or restaurant that they want to go to. And that's what they loved about the urban living. A lot of people are now moving to the suburbs. Number one, because of crime. Number one, number two, your schools are typically better.
Yep.
So they're moving to the suburbs, but they still like that kind of an urban feel as well, the walkability.
I'll tell you what, everyone always calls me right when we're on this.
Well, that's because they're seeing
my contractor always calls me when I'm on this show.
That's the way it goes. So I did a walkabout town. This is one of our borrowers who started this project. He's building Charleston style homes. He bought a tract of land that covers almost a city block.
And if you're not familiar with Charleston style homes, that we call them tall skinnies, they're usually 2 or 3 levels, and they are very long.
This is a style of home that is predominant in the historic area of downtown Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
The difference here, these are new, and as you can see, they're square. The ones in Charleston, if they're leaning to one side, they call that character. but they were built 100 years ago, and the soil there tends to drift around a little bit. So as you can see, there's enough room for one more set of foundation on this side of the lot. This foundation just went up, as you can tell. And in this case, we're not financing this particular spot because it's already sold. The borrower went ahead and got their own financing for the construction. We financed the one that's you're seeing right beside of that, this white home. I love the little front porches. I'm trying to give you a little indication of what the streets look like. And it's, by the way, I have to mention, my little iPhone takes one heck of a video, does it not?
Yeah, that was your iPhone? That's really good.
Yeah, I did this whole thing with my iPhone. It's amazing the technology in your phone.
And these houses are between 1,800 and 2,400 square feet.
Right.
Is the size of these houses, typically 3 2s or 4 3s.
And now the ones that are existing that are already built, I believe, what was our loan amounts on those generally around?
The first one that we built, the construction amount was $206,000, and it ended up selling for $339,000. The next one that we financed, prices went up. The construction budget went up to about $220,000, and anticipated to be around that same 330 to 350 mark for the ARV.
As you can tell by the size of that house, that's very affordable. By the way, the one that's under construction right now that we're financing is taking a little bit longer because they only have the one guy to do the job.
Whoa.
So if you're a little motion sickness challenged, I didn't think you wanted me to spend 20 minutes because that's how long it took me to walk through town. So I sped up the video a little bit. So this is Fountain Park. As you can tell, it didn't take long to walk to really the downtown area.
About 3 seconds.
We've been here for 5 years, and the one day I decided to film town, they got half the water out of the fountain. The fountain is under maintenance. But you know, this is a quaint little town. They're getting ready to build an outdoor entertainment facility on the left side of this park. It's going to have a nice bandstand.
Isn't there a hotel going in somewhere?
There's a hotel going right across there in that blank spot. And as we go up here, you'll see where they've already torn down a little bit of a building, and they had a shared wall. I guess they'll paint that wall eventually. But this gives you an idea of, you know, like I said, the quaintness of a little small town. It still has a nice core urban area that the businesses there are still thriving, even coming out of COVID. These buildings were built between very late 1800s and probably around 1930, 35. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. I want to show you this. This at the end of the street is brand new housing, and it does comply or look a lot like the rest of the downtown area.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a nice job. This is only a couple of years old.
I think just 2 years old.
Yeah, like luxury apartments right there in downtown. This parking lot across the street from the building offers express bus trips into downtown Charlotte. You just park there and get on the bus, go to downtown Charlotte.
You see the construction.
So we're going to move in a little bit slower. I want you to see the factory across the street. That used to be a textile mill. They redeveloped it into office and retail as well as residential. Mm-hmm. Behind that, and we'll just let it go, there's also an entertainment facility, indoor sports arena right behind that factory. Here is a brand new development that's going up. It's got 177 units of luxury apartments. The building to the right you can see going up, that's retail and restaurants, dining, office as well. As you can see, the city itself and the state, look at those sidewalks. They're improving all the walkability areas in these areas because now they're getting all this tax revenue. Mm-hmm. And they're improving all this. Now, it's been taking a little bit longer on our street.
And this is our street.
But they are improving the sidewalks here as well. And lastly, a shameless promotion of Carolina Capital Management.
Yep.
This is the building. We occupy the top floor. So 3-unit condo. So there's 3 businesses in here.
It used to be the
top floor.
It was the first post office in Rock Hill. And then they built the bigger one in 1930, and they moved this one a block from where it was to where it is today. And the fun story is they moved it. They reached out to engineering firms to see how they could move it, and all the engineering firms said that you can't move it. And then some local guy said, "Well, I've got some mules and some rollers. I bet I can move it." And that's what he did.
Yep. Wagon and a team of mules.
Mm-hmm. They were bringing fresh mules in every week, is what I understand.
Nice. Yeah. So that building, not only was it the original post office, once they moved it to its new location, they turned it into the public library.
Yep. Until 72, and then it became.
Yeah. So it's a historical building.
Mm-hmm.
We love them because it has character, but at the same time, the insulation isn't that great.
I love the burlap sacks on my wall. You know, like whatever that is.
Yeah, but that was interior design from the 80s.
Oh yeah, that wasn't. Yeah,
so the reason we're bringing all of this up is that the demographics are changing. People are. Number one, they're moving into the suburbs because it costs less. They're moving into the suburbs because the school districts are a little bit better.
Taxes are more favorable typically because you're in the next county over.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But you still have the component of being in that urban setting where downtown Rock Hill's got 3 different microbreweries in there. They've got nice little specialty restaurants. They're not chain restaurants. I know the first one I walked by was the Jimmy John's, but that's really the only chain type of restaurant that's even in the downtown area. All of them are locally owned. They all have their own little, American flair or Asian flair or Italian. It's just, again, it's not a chain. So you're going to get some nice specialty dining experiences in those areas. Now, Jonathan has properties in other parts of our MSA, our bedroom communities. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about Concord and Kannapolis?
Sure, yes.
And Salisbury?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, so Concord is I don't have a video to show, but it's a cute town. It's really growing. Same thing. So the whole takeaway from this is it's our belief that focusing in on those bedroom communities is where your wins are going to be for the next few years. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about Charlotte specifically, I mean, Concord, Kannapolis, Salisbury, Gastonia, Rock Hill, And Monroe would be another one. Huntersville, but that's kind of already known and pretty
and
developed.
You get out a little bit further to Kings Mountain. Is really on the outskirts of being a bedroom community. Salisbury took a long time for it to start to move, but it was because of the interstate situation. It took them a while to finally improve the interstate to where it's taking you 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get into town.
Yeah.
And that's the main draw. You want to be far enough out where you are in that little community, but you need to have access to get to the major MSA fairly quickly. I mean, you don't want it to be a whole day trip.
No, typically what you find in bedroom communities, they're a 45-minute drive from the downtown area of the major metro. So if you look at Rock Hill, we're 25 minutes, something like that. Concord is going to be the same thing, 20, 25 minutes. Kannapolis, Gastonia is going to be, 25, 30 minutes. Monroe might be closer to that 30, 35 minute.
Monroe doesn't have a interstate. It has a 4-lane state highway, but there's a lot of traffic lights and stuff. So it takes you a little bit longer to get out that way. I live out that way, and it's booming like crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's bedroom communities are state. I mean, that's where we see the migration patterns going. We see more build outs. I mean, just in that little walk you did around Rock Hill, how, the new construction that was going on, and you can see that people are doubling down on rentals.
Yes.
On multifamily and single family rentals.
Keep in mind too, you're not going to be competing with the big hedge fund folks that are coming in and buying up all the single family. They want to be in the major MSA. They want to have homes that are 15 years old or newer. And they are paying way too much for them because they can.
What's interesting, in my neighborhood, my neighbor is in the process of, I guess they got the final number from Zillow. So Zillow's been trying to buy their home, and Zillow is paying them over $100,000 more to buy their home than what I paid for my home 3 years ago. And my home is almost 1,000 square feet bigger and double the lot size. Like, it's insane what's going on. Like, these iBuyers coming in and doing that. So, I mean, Zillow is, what do you think they're going to resell that and make a few $1,000s? Or do you think they're going to put a tenant in there?
Well, it's hard to say because you get them up to a particular point and you can't justify renting it.
Well, it depends on what your cost of carry is on your funds.
And I heard something recently that Zillow's, whatever it's called, purchasing directly is actually, they continue to lose money in that particular side of the business. So while they have plenty of money, they're not going to continue to do something that's losing them money. So I don't know how far that's going to go with that part of the iBuyer thing.
Well, what do you like? I'm just thinking out loud here. What would motivate someone to do something for an extended period of time of losing money? It's not because they're stupid.
Well, sometimes they need to write off other parts that's making money.
Perhaps. I mean, or they're banking on something else.
Yeah. Listen, single family rentals is very popular because, let's face it, you can't put your money in anything else that is going to produce a decent yield. The reason the stock market is booming is because you can't make any money in the bond market. The companies that are starting to pay dividends, you're going to see a lot of people dumping money into their stocks.